Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello there, how's it going? Muhammad Sohelana is here with a new tutorial from NSTM Action. In this tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to set up a developer-friendly working environment using Webpack. Additionally, I'm going to set up Bootstrap4, Fontawesom 5, Sass, Babel, etc. I'm also going to show you how to customize Bootstrap4, Fontawesom, and how to use Fontawesom 5. So let's get it started. At first, I want you to know the workflow I'm going to be going through. It will be very helpful for you, I believe. So step 1, I'll be creating a very basic project structure in this step. Step 2, in this step, I'm going to initialize npm in the project's root directory. Step 3, this is a very important step because I'm going to install some necessary tools. These tools will play a vital role in setting up our webpack. Step 4, I'll create and configure a webpack.config.js file in this step. Step 5, I'll set up Bootstrap and Fontawesom specific settings. Last but not least, step 6, I'll test our project. So let's go ahead. Step 1, create a very basic project structure. My root directory is bootweb. You can name it anything you like. Within this bootweb directory, I have a folder called source, SRC source. Within source, there is a folder JS, a folder SCSS, and a file index.html. Within JS folder, there is a file index.js. Within SCSS, there is a file main.scss. Look, index.js will be the entry point of our npm and of our webpack, and main.scss will house all of our SCSS code. And keep it in mind, main.scss must be connected with index.js because this is our entry point. So let's go ahead and see it in action. This is our bootweb root directory. There is nothing in it. So I'm going to open it up with my code editor. In my case, VS Code. You can use your own code editor. Within bootweb, I'm going to create a folder JS, SCSS. SCSS should be within the root directory. Sorry. Okay, now I'm going to create a file index.html. Within JS folder, index.js. Within SCSS folder, main.scss. That's it for now. This is a very basic project structure. Let's go ahead to the next step. Step 2. In this step, I'm going to initialize npm in the project's root directory. The command line code will be npm init. So I'm going to, here is my terminal. I'm using my VS Code terminal. You can use any terminal you like cmd, cmd, git bash, etc. Whatever you use, that's not a fact. npm init. It will initialize npm in our root directory. Package name bootweb, I'll leave it as it is. Version description, this is a tutorial. Project Okay, entry point would be our entry point would be source path. I'm writing the path source js, then index.js. This is our entry point. Test command, keep it as it is. Keywords, webpack, bootstrap, Fontawesom, Sass, Babel, etc. Okay, author, license, keep it as it is. Why? Yes. So now we initialized npm in our projects root directory, and this gives us a file called package.json. Look, there is some info I've given some while ago. Bootweb, project name, version, description, main entry point, scripts, keyword. These are our keywords, author name, etc., etc. Then okay, that's it for this step. Let's go ahead to the next step. In this step, I'm going to install some necessary tools like webpack related tools, CSS related tools, Sass related tools, HTML related tools, Babel related tools, Fontawesom 5, Bootstrap4, etc. This is a very, very important step I've mentioned before. So let's get through them one by one. First, webpack. In this step, I'm going to install 3 tools: webpack, webpack CLI, webpack-dev server. Look, npm I is for install, D is for dependency. Dev dependency. What is dev dependency? Dev dependency means that these tools are only be used for development purposes. They will help the developers to make their job easier. They are useless when the production is live. So I think it makes sense. Webpack is for webpack itself. Webpack CLI is a mandatory tools to work with webpack, and webpack-dev server. Webpack-dev server is doing a great job for us. It will automatically refresh our browser. We need not refresh the browser again and again manually. It will do it for us automatically. So let's install these tools. npm install dev dependency, webpack CLI, webpack dev server. Let's re-examine. npm I install dev dependency, webpack CLI, webpack dev server. Good. Let's wait for a while. It might take some time. I'm going to pause my video. So we installed our tools. Like, look, dev dependency. There is an option named dev dependency. In this option we can see webpack CLI, webpack dev server. So let's go ahead and step 3. In this step, step 3.2. okay, CSS. In this step, I'm going to install a CSS loader, mini CSS extract plugin. CSS loader. What is CSS loader? CSS loader will familiarize our CSS code with webpack, because webpack doesn't know any code other than JavaScript. So this CSS loader will represent our CSS file as a JavaScript file to the webpack, a mini CSS extract plugin. This plugin will create a new file like named main.scss, etc. It will create a new file for us, CSS file. So let's go ahead and install it. npm I install dev dependency CSS loader and mini CSS extract plugin. It might take some time, just wait for a while. Okay, look, we installed CSS loader and mini CSS extract plugin. This is in the package.json file, and now I'm going to the next tools. Sass, npm install dev dependency node sass and sass loader. Node sass, you know, I think what node sass is, and sass loader will do the same thing as I said before for the CSS loader. So there is nothing to say about it. Let's install it. npm I dev dependency node sass loader. npm install dev dependency node sass loader. Look, we installed node sass and sass loader. Let's go to the next step. In this step, I'm going to install HTML loader, HTML webpack plugin. HTML loader will work the same thing as do our Sass loader, CSS loader, etc. It will represent the HTML file as a JavaScript file to the webpack. An HTML webpack plugin will create a new file like index.html for us, and so npm install npm install dev dependency HTML loader HTML webpack plugin. npm install dev dependency HTML loader HTML webpack plugin. Enter. So we installed look, HTML loader and HTML webpack plugin. So next step, Babel. npm install dev dependency Babel loader will familiarize this Babel with the webpack. Babel preset nv preset, this is for preset at the rate Babel plugin proposal class properties. This plugin will allow us to use the proposal properties. Okay, Babel co, etc. Now npm install dev dependency Babel loader at the rate Babel preset env at the rate Babel plugin proposal class properties at the rate Babel core. So let's re-examine it. npm install dev dependency Babel loader at the rate Babel preset env at the rate Babel plugin proposal class properties level Babel core. Okay, now next now Fontawesom 5. npm install dev dependency at the rate Fontawesom 5. I'm going to install this Fontawesom 5. Why I am waiting for install dev dependency at the rate Fontawesom AWESOME Fontawesom Fontawesom free and file loader. Okay, let me re-examine it. npm install dev dependency fort Fontawesom AWESOME Fontawesom free and file loader. Okay, so next tools. Bootstrap 4 npm install. This is just dependency. This is not dev dependency. Bootstrap jQuery pop-up.js. You know, these three files are necessary. These three files are required files for Bootstrap 4. So let me install it. npm install dev dependency Bootstrap save. S stands for save. Bootstrap strap Bootstrap jQuery query pop-up.js pop-up.js. install save bootstrap jQuery pop-up.js. We're good to go. Look, our Bootstrap jQuery and pop-up.js installed. They are dependency because they will be using in our production mode. This is not developer dev dependencies. These are production tools. So this must be dependency in dependencies mode. Now npm install dev dependency post css loader. Post css is a required thing for Bootstrap. What does post css do? Post css will do some thing like it will add auto prefixer. This is a plugin. First of all, you have to know that post css is nothing without its plugins. We should use plugins, necessary plugins with it. Just like we in this case we are going to use auto prefixer. Auto prefixer will add some prefix like a vendor prefix to our CSS code. This is required for Bootstrap 4 to add auto prefixer. So let's go ahead. npm install dev dependency post css loader auto prefixer. npm install post css loader auto prefixers. Okay, so we installed our necessary tools for now. We can go ahead to the next step. Step 4. This is very important step because we are going to create and configure a webpack.config.js file. So let's go ahead and config. One thing more, you can see that there are dev dependencies, and we have a new folder called node modules. Here is our dependencies. Here is all of our dependencies. You can see it. You don't need to worry about it because look, there are huge files. Don't worry, we'll use some of them, not all of them. Okay, create and configure a webpack.config.js file. I'm going to create a webpack.config.js file, webpack.config, it should be as it is. Webpack, please don't make any mistake. Webpack.config.js file, here it is. Okay, now I'm going to create this instead. Now I'm going to create constant path require path constant webpack require webpack. Another constant like CSS, it would be our packages. Go to your package.json mini CSS extract plugin. This is it. I'll name it here like this, mini CSS extract plugin equal to require mini CSS extract plugin. Okay, that's good. Constant HTML, I can use it uppercase HTML. Let me see the name. HTML webpack plugin. I just forget it. Okay, I'll name it later on. Require HTML webpack plugin. HTML webpack plugin. Okay. Now module exports equal an object. This object has some properties like entry entry entry. This is a string. Entry output. This is an object. Then mode. This is an string. This is a string. It's a development mode. Development. Then module means loader. Module and object. Then plugins an array. First entry, our entry point is index.js /. This defines the path of the root directory, then source folder, then js folder, and then index.js. Output has two options, two properties, file name bundle.js, bundle bundle.js. You can name it anything you want, but in my case this is bundle.js. And then path path.resolve. Resolve is a method. Dial name. This defines the root directory path. Dial name dist. So what does this mean? This means that Webpack will create a dist folder within root directory, and within this root dist folder it will create bundle.js. This is an automated process. We need not create this dist folder and bundle.js. Webpack will do it for us. The mode, development mode, module is an object, and it has some rules. It has rules is an array, and array has some objects. Just I create some object first. 1 2 3 4. First one is for SCSS and CSS. It has test is an regex string regex. Sorry, this is regex, and test and use is an array. I'll copy it. Okay, test this test is an regex. That means regular expression. Let me write first \scss $. Okay, this regex will test the files which has whether it has .scss extension or not. If it has .scss extension, then it will use some loader, like we have we have several loaders, like HTML loader, SCSS loader, CSS loader, post CSS loader. So we need to create 4 objects. Three, 4. First, SCSS loader, LOADER loader. Sorry, mini extract CSS loader first. Mini, this is this one. That means I'll copy it, paste it, dot loader. This is mini CSS extract plugin loader. Then CSS loader. Sorry, this is a string CSS loader. Then post CSS loader, post CSS, post CSS loader. It has options. Options is an object. Options is an object. Okay. Plugins, 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 an array. Plugins, this is you need to create a function for this plugins, like so, function. Function, this is anonymous function. Okay, return will return an array require auto prefix, auto prefix auto prefix. Okay, that's it for the post CSS loader. Then this is our post CSS, and then we need to load Sass loader, string Sass loader. So for SCSS test for SCSS file, we need to load mini-CSS plugin loader, CSS loader, post CSS loader, and then Sass loader. That's it for the .scss test. And now we will test HTML loader /HTML. This regex will test that whether the file has .html extension. If it has, then it will use the following loader. Loader, just write it, use loader HTML loader. Well, we can use this within the object. Okay, that's great. Use then HTML loader, CSS loader. Then we need to JS Babel JS. This is Babel JS .js $, and use a loader Babel loader. Babel loader has options. Options is an object. Presets is an array. Presets and plugins also is an array. Presets as at the rate Babel /presets dot dash env. We need to I need to see it. Preset. Sorry, Babel. We can grab it from here, then paste it here. Babel presets and plugins. Plugins is in this case, plugins will be at the rate Babel. Just copy. Okay, this is for Babel JS, and then test. We have HTML, Babel. Then this is for Fontawesom. Test for I have to copy it. Just copy. You just see the video and write it on your own. Sorry, my computer is getting slow. there is a problem. Okay, this is test and use. We can grab this from here. Loader, file loader. Here for Fontawesom we need to load a file loader, and option, it has options: name.text extension. Output path will be fonts folder, and public path will be fonts folder. Okay, this is for Fontawesom. It will create a folder within the dist folder. Within the dist folder, it will create a fonts folder within the dist folder, and push necessary files within this fonts folder. Okay, now, and file loader will familiar our Fontawesom files like EOT extension, OOF extension, etc. with the webpack. Now I'm going to create plugins. We have 3 plugins here, like mini extract CSS plugin. I can copy it. First, new, we need to create an instance. New extract plugin, then new HTML webpack plugin. And then new webpack. Let me grab this from here, webpack provide plugin. Just copy it. Look, mini extract CSS plugin, plugins, file name name.css, chunk file name id.css, HTML web page plugin template. This will create an index.html in our source file template. Webpack.provide plugin, jQuery, the $ defines as jQuery, and jQuery defines as jQuery. Whether it is $ or jQuery, it will take it as jQuery. So that's it for now. For our webpack, I think if we didn't do anything wrong, it will work fine, I believe, inshallah. Now let's go ahead. That's it for now, our webpack.config file. Now let's go to the next. Bootstrap and Fontawesom, step 5. Bootstrap and Fontawesom specific settings. Import Bootstrap JavaScript into index.js. We need to go index.js and import Bootstrap JavaScript file. Bootstrap has some JavaScript, like I'll show you. Look, Bootstrap node modules, Bootstrap. Where is Bootstrap? Here is Bootstrap, and it has, look, JavaScript. It is JavaScript. This is mini.js, bundle.js, and dist folder. Here are JavaScripts, alert.js, alert map. We need to import this JavaScript Bootstrap into index.js. Just write import Bootstrap. bootstrap. And now we need to import our SCSS main SCSS folder file, sorry, main SCSS file. This is our at this moment we are in this JS folder, so we need to one step down, to get a one step down, and then JS folder, and then JS, and then SCSS, then SCSS folder, and then main.scss. Okay, this is importing of our main.scss. Okay, this is where it is index.html. It needs to be our index.js. JS node modules index.js. Okay, importing include necessary Fontawesom files. We need to include necessary Fontawesom files, SCSS files, etc. in our main.scss. main.scss. Well, look, we will create a folder base, and then we will create a file Fontawesom.scss, and then we will import this here. We can do it later on. We can do it later on. Just we import our necessary files, Fontawesom files. We can grab it, while or we can write it. Okay, I'm going to grab it. Just copy it. Paste it here. Look, Fontawesom first variable. You should write this exactly what it is. FA font path. This is a sign of Node.js folder. This defines the path of the node modules folder. Then Fontawesom, and then Fontawesom free, and then web fonts. Like I'll show you node modules. Here node modules, then Fontawesom. Look, Fontawesom, and then Fontawesom free, and then web fonts. Here is web fonts. This is web fonts. Okay, here is some files: UT files, SVG files, TTF files, font files, font extension, and then import node modules, Fontawesom free, SCSS. Fontawesom free, and then SCSS, and then Fontawesom.scss, this is Fontawesom.scss, and regular.scss, brands.scss, and then solid.scss. Okay, this is our Fontawesom files to be included. So now I'm going to set up Bootstrap customization files. This is time for Bootstrap customization. Go to node modules folder, then Bootstrap. Where is Bootstrap? Okay, this is Bootstrap. Then SCSS. Within SCSS, open up this bootstrap.scss file. Look, there are some SCSS files imported here, like functions.scss, variables SCSS, mixes SCSS. These 4 or 5 reboot and type, these files are required, and other files are not required. You can comment out any of this file, like tooltip. If you don't need to use this tooltip Sass file on your project, then you can comment out it. Like I don't use any model on my project, so I can comment it out like this. Okay, now you now copy this file and then go to your main.scss file within source folder. This is our main.scss, and just paste it here. Okay, look, this file is very plain, very simple, but I have a well furnished file for you. I can grab this file and copy and paste it here. Just, this is my furnished file I've created for you. Copy, Control C, and paste it here. Look, the exact file. Just I just rearrange these files. I used some comments. Boot Sass, this is my project name, author name, and this is Bootstrap information. You can get rid of this comment, or you can leave it as it is. Just see the video and write your file on your own, seeing this video. Look, core functions means functions.scss. this is required. Variables required. This is our own variable file. I'm going to create okay, I'm going to create this file in this within this base folder. Create a file, variables.scss, variables. Just copy it, variables. Look, this is our variables file, and look, and variables required file, mixins required, reboot required, type required. Then if you need to use grid, bootstrap grid, then you need to uncomment it. That's what I'm doing in this file, and I don't need any tables, so I comment it here. I need forms, so I uncomment it. Buttons, I need buttons. If you don't use any buttons, then you can comment it out. Okay, that's the fact. This is our customized bootstrap file. I scroll over the file so you can write on your own. Just see this and pause the video and write on your own. Look, model, this is JavaScript components. If you need to use model, then you should use this model file. Tooltip, you can comment out this tooltip. I can comment out it because we don't use any tooltip on this project. Popover, you should use this popover model tooltip. Bootstrap utilities, this is very helpful. You don't need to comment out it. Comment out. And this is our base. Look, base folder, base. There is no base file. I'm going to create base file. base.scss. Okay, I'm get back there later on. Modules neighbor, you can this is my project file, so I can delete this. Look, Fontawesom.scss. Fontawesom.scss, we created this file, but now we should import it here. Base Fontawesom. Okay, and these variables. Now go to your node modules, and then Bootstrap SCSS variables. This is Bootstrap related variables. I'm gonna copy it, Ctrl+C, and paste it in our variables.scss file. And I'm gonna comment out this file. Sorry. I commented out all of these variables because I don't need I'm not going to customize all of these variables. I just customize some of those variables, I want to customize primary color. Bootstrap's primary color is blue. Now I'm going to customize primary color. Just see what I'm doing. Look, primary, here's blue. I can use any color I want to. Okay, I can write red color, and of course you should uncomment these variables. Okay, this is customization. We can customize Bootstrap in this way. Whatever we want to customize, whatever we want to be the variable is, we can customize this for variables from our variable. Look, from our variable.scss file, not Bootstrap's variable.scss file. This is our own variable.scss file. So let me go ahead. I will show you now. Okay, I'm gonna recheck base SCSS variables Fontawesom main.scss. Okay, look, this variable.scss should be before Bootstrap's variables file. This is our variables file, and this is Bootstrap's variables file, and it must be after functions file. Okay, that's nice. Okay, now I'm going to webpack.config.js. In this file I need to configure our dev server. Can you remember dev server? Dev server is a plugin which will automatically refresh our browser, and it's very funny thing and funny and useful plugin. Dev server is an object, port 2224, port open, true, compress true. This is our dev server configuration, and look, you should use comma, and I made a mistake in spelling require. In offline I corrected it. Require require, and I am going to recheck this file if there is any mistake. Dev server configuration, entry, source, index. Okay. Okay, I think everything is right. I think. And one other thing, package.json. Go to the package.json and scripts. I did it offline. Build webpack. This is for our webpack, and start webpack-dev server. This is for the dev server. Now I'm going to start webpack. Open up your terminal, npm run. I'm going to run webpack build, build, build. Look, I need to, I'll show you. Look, this is node modules, this is source folder, and there is no dist folder. As soon as I run the build, webpack will create a dist folder, and within the dist folder there will be some files like index.html, main.scss, and index.js. It's bundle.js. Sorry, our output is bundle.js. Okay, if we didn't do any wrong, then it would work correctly, I think. Let me recheck if there is any mistake. Okay, JSON and webpack-config, dev server, entry, require. Okay, that's great. Now let's start build. It may take some time, don't worry. Well, we have some error. This error is for our wrong path. We need to use double step back, because this is our main SCSS. We need to step back step back SCSS, and then step back source folder, and then root node module. So we need to be 2 step back. This is the right path. Okay, no, don't worry, I'm going to grab this file. This is the right path with Ctrl C V. Now our path is right, and I'm going to Fontawesom base, then variables base Fontawesom. Okay, correct. Okay, don't worry. And now let's get back to work. npm run build, enter. Okay, here we go. Look, there is a folder dist, and within this dist we have index.html, main.scss, bundle.js, and fonts folder. Look, we index.html, we have a simple file, simple code. Just there is no linking with the main.css, but our output main.css has a link. Index.html has a link to main.css. This is happening automatically. We don't need to edit we don't need to edit this dist folder within this dist folder. So it's working, it's bundled. Now it's bundled. Now I'm going to start dev server. npm start. Look, dev start is creating a server automatically for us, localhost 2222 port. In this port it's creating a server for us. Just wait for a moment. Look, our container, our bootstrap is working fine. Container, that's why this is in the middle of the page. Container, row, column for MD4, column MD4, and within this column there is Fontawesom. This is Facebook. And now I'm going to customize, open up your base.scss, and then just for testing purposes I'm going to write a Sass code, body background. Look, we are going to customize color primary. Let's see what's happening. Primary. Okay, color primary. What is the problem? Base okay. And where is the problem? Color primary, is it? I think this is not background color. Oh well, look, primary color is not a variable, it's a problem, so we need to use primary. You can primary is defined here in our file, variables file is red, so it's working. Primary is red, so background is red. Then I'm going to lemon color. Is there any lemon color? No. We can use teal color. So primary is teal. Look, it's working. It's I'm not refreshing manually, it's refreshing automatically. So in this way you can use webpack, you can customize bootstrap, etc. Just variables file, new variables file, copy and paste the bootstrap's variables files in this file, and in the main.scss, bootstrap.scss, copy and paste it here in here, and then you can customize any variables, and your customized code, Sass code would be base.scss in this file. Now that's working right. I think oh sorry, this is our testing. This was our testing, and you see that Fontawesom is tested. Facebook, I think this is it for now. See you.